Every year we get a new iPhone that looks absolutely fire during the event, but the reality sets in and we start comparing it to the iPhones that came before it. And let's be real, the only question that pops into our heads is there a better deal out there? Well, this year, no exceptions. In this video, we're talking iPhones still on sale that give you way more bang for your buck than the 16 Pro. So, first things first, let me lay it down straight. Here are the iPhones you definitely don't want to buy. No matter how tempting the price tag might look, iPhone XR, XS, 11, 11 Pro, yeah, those, skip them. I mean, you guys probably know why already, but I'll say it anyway. A few years ago, I would be hyping up the 11 Pro as a solid buy, but now it's just old. And no, I'm not talking about the design. The design is still pretty clean, especially in that slick green color. That's a classic, but the internals, oh, rough. I've seen people using the XS or 11 and iOS 18, and let me tell you, it's not pretty. Slow, laggy, and battery life, or should I say battery death? You really don't want that struggle. Plus, iOS 18 is most likely the last update these phones are ever gonna get. So yeah, you can see where this is going. The cheapest iPhone that's actually worth considering is the iPhone 12 Pro. It's like the oldest new iPhone you can still get. Yeah, sounds kind of weird, but hear me out. It's good that flat-sided, still relevant design, a decent enough chip, and cameras that can hang. Mostly. So, what's the downside? Well, it's all in the details. The design is modern enough, but that lightning port kind of kills the vibe, right? And yeah, a bunch of other iPhones on this list still have it, so it is what it is. The 6.1-inch OLED sounds great on paper, but when you dig deeper, you start noticing the compromises. 800 nits brightness, 60 Hz refresh rate, and yeah, that huge notch. I mean, it's not bad, but when you stack it up against the 16 Pro, which can hit 2000 nits without breaking a sweat, it's like not even a contest. And then we've got the cameras, they are fine, just fine. 12 megapixels, which is decent, but the real letdown is the night mode. Sometimes it makes your photos look like watercolor paintings, and not in a good way. But with the price, it's a solid trade-off, especially if you can snag one for around $360. And if you go for the 12 Pro Max, you even get that 2.5x zoom lens, which, fun fact, is the only iPhone to have it. Battery life though, it's not great, but hey, charges up quickly if you've got a decent charger, so at least you won't be stuck tethered to the wall for too long. All these phones need charging, some more, some less. I've been using the Ugreen Uno series for a bit now, and I must say, these chargers are pretty cool. And Ugreen's sponsoring this video. Both the 100-watt charger and the 2-in-1 magnetic wireless charger have been solid for my setup, and one reason is that they've got a unique look to them. Their cute robot design actually adds some character to my desk. These chargers aren't just about performance, they've got these little emojis on the TFT display that change as the device charges. It's a small thing, but I appreciate it when tech has a bit of personality. When it comes to speed, the 100-watt charger delivers the most. I plugged in my iPhone 15 Pro and it hits 60% in just 30 minutes. On top of that, it handles 4 devices at once with no issues. I've been charging my MacBook, iPhone, and a couple of other gadgets with no problem. The GaN Infinity chip with a thermal guard system inside keeps everything cool and efficient, even with all that power going through it. The 2-in-1 magnetic wireless charger has been great for those moments when I just want to drop my phone and walk away. It's Qi2 certified, so it handles 15-watt wireless charging smoothly. I've also been charging my AirPods and Apple Watch at the same time. It's quick and easy. And the magnets snap the phone right into place without a fuss. Ugreen has always been really good at making great chargers, and this time is no exception. If you're looking for something that's more than just a plain charger, then it's worth a look. Ugreen Uno series, fast and fun charging accessories for the new iPhone. The link is in the description. But if you are the type who can afford to throw in an extra slice of cheese on your Big Mac, then you should definitely consider the iPhone 13 Pro. Now, if this was a video all about iPhone 16 alternatives, I might have said go for the regular iPhone 13. And honestly, everything I'd say about the 13 would also apply to the iPhone 14 because, well, they're practically the same phone. The 14 costs more for 0 noticeable upgrades, but since we're comparing to the 16 Pro, grabbing the 13 Pro for around $480 is the right move. The 13 Pro packs almost everything you love about the 16 Pro minus few things like Apple Intelligence. But the real star of the 13 Pro show are the display and cameras. Let's face it, who even cares about the design at this point? Every iPhone after 12 looks modern enough. Yes, even the ones still with a notch, like the 13 Pro. But think about this, for 480 bucks, you get Pro Motion and 1000 nits peak brightness. Pretty sweet deal, right? Trust me, once you experience Pro Motion, you will never want to go back. Save up that lunch money for a few days. It will be worth it. Now, the cameras on the 13 Pro. This is where it really started to get serious for iPhone photography. The 13 Pro laid the groundwork for the features that even the regular 16 has now, like macro shots. Yeah, the 13 Pro did it first. Cinematic videos. Again, the 13 Pro paved the way. These cameras are no joke, even though they are still only 12 megapixels, but throw in all that smart processing, rich contrast, and those photographic styles, and you've got a killer camera system in your pocket. And if your hands can handle it, I would recommend going for the 13 Pro Max. Bigger screen, even better battery life, win-win. Alright, you probably already know what's coming next. As we move up the price ladder, the 14 Pro and 14 Pro Max start looking like the best bang for your buck. $590 for the 14 Pro and $675 for the Pro Max. Honestly, can anything top that? Because the 14 Pro is basically a 16 Pro in disguise. Let's run it down. Dynamic Island, check. 2000 nits of brightness, check. Triple camera with a 48 megapixel main sensor, check. It's got everything. I used the 14 Pro for a solid year, and I gotta say, switching back to it now, I probably wouldn't even notice the difference. It's still that powerful. The cameras are stellar, the design is luxurious, and it's got all the bells and whistles you'd expect from a flagship iPhone. Always on display, check. Standby mode, check. You prop it on its side while charging, and boom, nightstand mode with glanceable info. It's little touches like this that make the experience. Performance-wise, sure, it's not quite as fast as the 16 Pro, but it's no slouch. Will handle anything you throw at it without breaking a sweat. And that said, the only thing you need to watch out for is battery life. The 14 Pro is kind of infamous for battery degradation. I mean, after just 1 year, I was noticing big drops in battery health, so much so that Apple had to completely rethink their batteries on newer iPhones. So here's a pro tip. Don't go for a used 14 Pro, look for a good refurbished one with a new battery. Oh, and one more thing, those 2000 nits of peak brightness, they're awesome, but only for short bursts. The phone gets hot, dims down, and you lose that max brightness pretty quick. Otherwise, it's a fantastic phone. Plus, it's the last iPhone to come with Apple's original leather cases, so if you're into that premium feel, you're in luck. Whether you rock it with or without a case, the 14 Pro is a solid choice. If you're not down with an X flagship, you can always go with the iPhone 16. The moment I got my hands on it, I said one thing: Apple has made its own Pro killer. No joke. The iPhone 16 is that good. Sure, it's missing a few things, but honestly, it's pretty much nails the rest. From how it looks to how it performs, it's every bit a premium iPhone with only a couple downgrades. First off, let me just say, I genuinely believe the regular iPhone 16 looks more interesting than the 16 Pro, especially that ultramarine color. And second, the price to feature ratio here is insane. Let me hit you with a quick rundown of what the iPhone 16 and 16 Pro both have. Apple Intelligence, camera control button, action button, that new image processing pipeline, the second gen 3nm chip, a 2000 nit screen that can drop all the way to 1 nit when needed. You've also got macro mode, audio mixing in the camera, a 48 megapixel main sensor, dynamic island, and a Type-C port. They are practically twins. Now, what's missing on the 16 compared to the Pro? No always on display, no Pro Motion, and no third zoom camera. That's pretty much it. Who's really out here stressing about the A18 Pro being slightly faster than the regular A18, or about 4K 120 FPS slow-mo, or a 48 megapixel ultra-wide camera? Probably just geeks like me. For 95% of people, the regular iPhone 16 is going to be the perfect iPhone, especially when you're looking at a price tag of $799 directly from Apple. Now, the real contender against the 16 Pro is one you already know. Tons of people are using it right now. It's got a smaller body, still an amazing OLED display with ProMotion always on, the same peak brightness, and nearly identical slim bezels. Plus, it's made from titanium with that sleek, natural titanium color. And of course, it's rocking the super fast Type-C charging port and a triple camera system. Yeah, you guessed it. The iPhone 15 Pro and 15 Pro Max. I'm not gonna blow anyone's mind here, but the 15 Pro is probably a better deal than the 16 Pro for most people. It's got almost everything the 16 Pro has and at a cheaper price point. Okay, sure, it doesn't have the camera control button, the new photographic styles, or that 48 megapixel ultra wide and no 4K slow-mo videos, but aside from that, it is nearly identical. That's exactly why so many people are returning their iPhone 16s. Apple's changes this year are so minor and niche that upgrading feels almost pointless. The 15 Pro is just too good. It shoots in log just like the 16 Pro, has a 5x zoom lens in the Pro Max, and supports Apple Intelligence to its fullest. So why drop $1,000 on the 16 Pro when you can pay $750 for the 15 Pro and get basically the same phone? This year, choosing an iPhone is weirdly easy. Avoid the latest Pro and go for either an older Pro model or the regular iPhone 16. All these options have their own strengths and pack a serious punch for the price. And if you still can't decide, well, don't worry. We've got videos covering all these iPhones in the channel. Go check them out before pulling the trigger. And of course, hunt down those deals. Thanks for watching. I'll catch you in the next one.